Escalante. I'm the director of Los Bastardos. I started making movies when I was 15 in an amateur way with my family, and then I made a short film in 16mm when I was 18 years old. This movie took me a long time to finish it. I consider it my film school. I finished it and went to a few film festivals, including Rotterdam Film Festival in Holland, and from there I was able to meet Carlos Regadas, who Mexican director of Japón and Battle in Heaven and Lumière Silenciosa. And I worked in Battle in Heaven as assistant director, Batalla en el Cielo. And at this point I had written a feature script, a long feature script, that I showed to him, to Carlos Regadas, and to the producer Jaime Romandia of Mantarraya Productions in Mexico, and they were interested in helping me to make it. And we made it with very little money, and it was selected for the Cannes Film Festival in 2005.
With Sangre?
Sangre, yes. And it premiered in Certain Regard in Cannes, and from there it was sold to a few places, and I was able to get more money for this new movie. And it's Los Bastardos. I developed that part here in France, in Paris, in the Cine Fondation residence of the Festival of Cannes. And it has some support, also some French co-production by the distributor Le Pacte and by the Fond Sud fund. And that's where I am now. It's coming out in cinemas here in France, the 28th of January, end of this month, and it has been in a few festivals around, and it's going very good.
Yeah.
For Los Bastardos and my first movie, Sangre, I feel that these two movies, I already had them in me from when I wanted to start to make movies, no? From always. It was just a matter of how I was going to shoot it and how. I wasn't very worried about the story, because the story is easy to sit down and you develop a narrative that will move forward somewhat. No? So, but I had this vision of these Mexican immigrants in the United States working hard during the day, no? and under the sun, and how difficult it is to build. They have built many of the structures of the United States. My father's from Mexico, my mother is from the United States. He's crossed the border before I was born, also through the desert, illegal. So it's something that was close to me, and this movie Los Bastardos plays with also film genres that I like, and I tried to create something that was at the same time trying to be true to the situation of Mexicans in the United States, immigrants, that have to work very hard for money that they send back to their country, if it's possible. I mixed that with genre films somehow, also with film noir, western, spaghetti westerns, and even gore films, no? Like Dario Argento, Mario Bava, these cool things that one can do with cinema. No? I wanted to play a little bit with all these things.
Ah, yeah, okay.
With my brother also, who co-wrote it. My brother is a very big fanatic of many genre movies, more than me maybe, which are these Gallo films. Films.
Yes.
Well, my first movie we made it with $45,000, which is very little.
And this one?
You can buy maybe a new car with that money,
Yeah.
This one was 600,000 euros. So it was a big jump. It's still very low, relatively.
Yeah. And you make this choice to you choose non-comedian actors.
Yes, for the two main characters and the extras, the other characters, there aren't the woman who is an actress. The two main characters are not actors. They're from my city in Guanajuato, in Mexico. One of them, the older one, and we were able to pass him from Mexico to the United States. Took a very long time, but we were able to do that. And then the other one, the younger one, Ruben Sosa, he is 17, 18 years old. We found him in the United States. He was doing what the characters in the movie do, which is wait for work in the street.
Yeah, okay.
And we found him actually one day before shooting started. Because the one that we had ran away, so we had to replace him.
He was afraid about the project.
Oh, yes, exactly. And so we found this guy. We were either going to cancel the shooting or find somebody. So the whole team went to the streets, and we found this young guy that really worked well for the movie. And the next day we were filming with 35mm in the street with him. Well, I think it has been coming for the past 10 years. I think since that movie that I think I can say this movie starts something, was Solo con tu pareja, which is Alfonso Cuarón's first movie in 1991, I think, 92. And this was somewhat of a different film for Mexico. It dealt with sex and comedy in a different way, stylized, more open, free, and similar to Tu Mamá También, his other movie. And from there, Amores Perros came. And then Y Tu Mamá También, which are movies that also have excited me when I saw them, because they were something fresh and new that someone in Mexico was doing. Somehow all this, I notice, coincides with the economically maybe, or no, not economically, but culturally, with the opening of the supposed opening of the borders for the free trade agreement that happened in 1990, I think, or 91, and I think at this moment it was a little bit of a shock for Mexico also, because this thing that supposedly opened the borders only commercially, I think it made Mexicans more protective of their culture also. And these movies came out somehow, and this is the fruits of that, up to now. These new movies, and then came, for me, an important point was also the movies of Carlos Regada's Japón, especially. When I saw this film, that spoke to me very directly to the type of movies that I liked from other directors, not Mexican, and that I saw a Mexican person doing it. It was very exciting for me. So for me that was a point. And part of everything also is that somehow there's interest in Mexico because of this, So when there's interest in somebody and there's expectations, it's exciting, and this is an exciting time. There's many factors, I think. Also, then there's the politically there's some funds that are available now that weren't before. I made my movie with a very good tax incentive that is very delicate at the moment. Big companies can give 10% of their taxes that they give to the government. They can give 10% to Mexican movies.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. And I made half of the money came from that, for my movie. Well, no. It wasn't. It was a choice to do this, of course. It wasn't my idea to simply for an effect. I thought I had to be true to the style of the movie, and also for me, death is not something that is. I think cinema has made death very normal. To see it like for example, in a movie like Batman Dark Knight, the new one, there's maybe 150 people that get killed, you know, but somehow they make it in a cinematic way that the audience, it's exciting. I wanted to give it its importance, you know. It's so I think death is very horrible, and I think guns are very horrible. So I wanted to do an anti-action somehow, but anti-Hollywood scene, you know, and play with this a little bit also. So I decided to shoot it in the same way as I shot the rest of the movie, shoot the violence in that way, you know, without cutting, and full on to the audience. So the audience would be more of a witness than experience the excitement of violence, you know, because I wanted to make something that didn't excite you in that way, that didn't exhilarate, more like you felt it, like I think it really is. If you were, you know, it's difficult to play with death and cinema, so I wanted to really take it seriously and to the extreme, where one would, it's ugly and it's scary, and that's the way it is, I think. You know. We were a Mexican crew, a Mexican production working in the United States, in Hollywood, but away outside of Hollywood, of course. So it was difficult for permits, for moving around. It's a very big city. We had, you know, a small crew, and locations were difficult to get where I wanted to shoot. I didn't really finish shooting anywhere I wanted. I always had to compromise where I wanted to shoot, because we didn't allow it for money or for other reasons. So we had to go shoot some other places. It was very difficult to do the casting of the movie also. These two guys, because
find the two guys.
Yeah, because physically many people didn't look the way I wanted, no? But the way it needed to be for the movie to have its effect. Many people in the United States, many Mexicans didn't look how I needed them to, no? Which was a little bit from, I guess, now looking at the movie and reflecting, I think I was going for somewhat of a Western, you know, a spaghetti Western look, you know. These guys needed to be rough and like they were mistreated in life, you know, like the good, the bad, the ugly style, you know. So it was difficult to find this, and it took a very long time. And then once we did find it, one was in Mexico, and we had to bring him to the United States, and this was very difficult. And like I say, the other one we had, but he left, and then it was very stressful, this. Also because they're very unpredictable people that didn't trust us first. It took a while to get the trust of these guys. Well, I think, like I said, Dario Argento was someone we were looking at during the preparation of the movie, me and my brother. I wrote the script with my brother, Martin, and many westerns, spaghetti westerns, Sergio Leone especially, but also other ones, and Mario Bava, these types of, there's a film, Rabid Dogs, I think it's called. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a film noir crime movie, and these genres of film noir and horror and gore were somewhat of inspiration, you know, but also mixed with documentary, maybe even, you know, and social cinema.
It's the thing that I noticed.
The movie has this suspense that I wanted to have. I could say it's a suspense movie, you know, because there's a crime that's happening, and there's a tension, and you know, it's a crime movie. It could be, you know, somewhat of a genre film itself, I hope. There is, I'm working right now in a project of 10 short films. I will do one of them, one of the shorts, 10 Mexican directors.
Yeah.
In the subject of the Mexican Revolution, because next year, 2010, it will be the 100th anniversary of the Mexican Revolution and the Mexican independence, 200 years. So the government and the film company Canana, which is Diego Luna and Gael Garcia Bernal, these two Mexican actors, they're preparing this project, and very many of these new directors are involved, so it's exciting. It's complete freedom. We can write whatever we want, so it's nice. And Carlos Regadas will be there, Fernando Emke, Gerardo Naranjo, Rodrigo Pla, these Mexican, new Mexican directors. Also, we'll see who else. All the directors aren't there yet. We'll see who is. As I'm writing this, and another movie, I hope, also preparing. In all of cinema history, it's difficult. I think
I know.
the two things that came right now. I think it's the first shot of Clockwork Orange. I think.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. And when they put in the movie M by Fritz Lang, you know this one? When they put the M in the back. These two things are very powerful for me. I don't know. I think Fritz Lang is an amazing guy, an amazing director. He was, and M is especially one of my favorite movies. You know.
The performance of the actor was incredible.
And the use of sound. It was the first movie with sound that he made, and he knew how to use it so well. You know, the guy whistles. You know, instead of putting music and trying to cover things, the music is the whistling of the guy, and it's very good, very intelligent. And the shots that go on, you know, he does these shots through a window and up, and with a camera that must have been the size of a refrigerator, I imagine. You know? Nice. I hope to. No. I hope. I mean, for me, I hope I have enough to do whatever I want. I don't need more money. I just need ideas, and you can't buy ideas. You know, they're good ideas. So, as long as I have enough to make the idea I have, which is for now, my ideas are pretty grounded. Let's say they're very. I like to make movies about reality, so that makes it cheaper. I'm not going to do a fantasy film yet, you know, or too much of a big horror movie with a lot of blood. I will do something hopefully powerful, but small and stuck in reality more. You know.